Hey, what's going on guys? Tyrant back with another video. So as you may know by now, Terry has officially dropped for Street Fighter 6. Along with him came a balance patch for the game, and while not as extensive as the last one, this version definitely shakes things up and should have an impact as far as competitive play is concerned. So let's get started. I will just cover significant changes. If I don't mention it, it's probably not worth talking about. First of all, some characters had a bug where blocking drive impact was not working correctly. This has been corrected. And drive reversal when blocked now has a significantly bigger throw hurt box. The patch notes specifically mentioned DJ, but I'm having reports that it works across the board, so this should be universal. There were also a couple minor modern bug fixes in terms of inputting special moves and assisted combos. Now onto the character changes, and I can't believe this, but they actually buffed Luke. Crouching light punch and crouching light kick received less pushback on hit and block, and crouching medium punch received less pushback on hit. This improves his combos and confirms significantly. Outlaw kick or back heavy kick now goes further out of drive rush. And light punch, medium punch, heavy punch target combo has scaling on the second hit removed, and the damage of the last hit has been improved. So there, this does more damage now. I can't believe they buffed Luke. Capcom, what are you doing? Jamie's Super Art 1 received a bug fix where on the second hit, if it was a counter hit, it did more damage than usual. This has been normalized. Manon's assisted combo 2 has been changed when her Super Art gauge is empty. Kimberly only received one change, but it's a nice one. The Shuriken Bomb now does only 10% scaling instead of 20, so you should be getting more damage from these conversions. Marissa only received one change, which I guess you could call a nerf. During the ground bounce, her hurt box before was abnormal, so now it's been normalized and combos should work correctly on her. Okay, JP, you could probably call him the big winner of this patch. Let's go over his changes. He received a couple of frame data changes, including stand medium kick becoming +3 up from +1 on hit. And now crouch heavy punch is basically back to its former glory. This is back to being one of the best anti-airs in the game. Forward heavy kick also has added juggle points, so JP might be back.
Care to hear how this ends?
They also decreased the scaling on his Embrace command grab, probably to promote the fact that it can also be used in combos. Modern Jury's assisted combo 2 has now been changed when the Super Art gauge is empty. DJ is another character that got some really nice buffs after having a pretty lackluster time with the last patch. His back heavy kick is now a lot more consistent when used in combos. There was a chance before where it would go to the other side and then your special wouldn't come out. This has been fixed. His light punch medium kick target combo has also been buffed significantly. It has way less pushback on hit, and when successful, you can use it as a strike throw mix. Don't forget the second hit is only -3 on block, which is really nice when trying to hit confirm this. Waning Moon, which is just cool, their medium kick follow-up, has been buffed. It does more drive gauge chip, on punish counter it ground bounces, but they did increase the scaling as well.
Get ready, Moon!
OD version ground bounces on an air hit as standard. Super R1 was improved as well. You can now combo into this for more options, and it causes a sliding knockdown instead of spinning knockdown from an air hit. I guess Ryu had a bug where you couldn't use Denjin Charge Hashigeki when a Hadouken was on the screen. This has been corrected now. E-Honda Super Art 2 has been adjusted to be a lot more consistent so that all the hits connect. Blanka received a fix where if he was in Super Art 2 and activated the Blanka Chandol with OD electricity, it wouldn't act correctly, it wouldn't activate as an OD move, so that's been fixed. Guile received a pretty significant nerf to his Sonic Boom. He now builds a lot less Super Art gauge and drive gauge when chucking out projectiles. Chun-Li's heavy Tensho kicks now has an increased knockdown time when the first attack connects. This is probably to reward correct anti-air timing. Zangief only received 2 nerfs, but they are pretty heavy ones, I'm not gonna lie. His forward heavy punch headbutt now has a 25% initial scaling penalty added to it, and the combo scaling has been increased to 20% up from 10%. So whatever way you slice it, using this in general is going to get you less damage. As a trade-off though, they increased the hit stun to 8 frames up from 7. This means you don't have to use Hell Stab and you can use crouching medium punch afterwards, which makes comboing into the level 2 a lot easier. The other change was to his forward medium kick knee hammer. This was an extremely strong neutral tool, but it's now down to -4 on block from -3. This means it's actually punishable at last. Not only that, they significantly increased the hurt box of this attack, so now throwing it out in neutral is going to be a lot more risky. The lower hurt box is especially vulnerable. Dalsim received a number of improvements after not getting too much in the last patch. Modern Dalsim's assisted combo 2 has now been changed when the Super Art gauge is empty. Stand medium punch is now 0 on hit, so expect to be pested by this a bit more often. Stand heavy kick has been buffed on punish counter from +21 to +24. I guess this makes hit confirms from various ranges a lot easier. Down back heavy punch now has a reduced knockback distance from a mid-air hit. This makes juggles a lot more consistent, and speaking of which, OD Yoga Flame has an expanded hitbox on the first attack forward, and especially when used in a combo, the hitbox on this is huge now. His normal and OD Yoga Fires have been improved slightly in terms of frame data and his hurtbox, and his Super Art 1 has pretty much been completely reworked. It now deals recoverable damage when it's blocked, so think of this as almost like Dhalsim's V-Trigger 1 from Street Fighter 5. It does a lot more drive gauge chip and is a lot more safe on block, so you might be seeing this a lot more in terms of trying to wear down the opponent and get that extra bit of damage from the recoverable life. Very slight changes to Rashid. His Crouching Light Punch actually had anti-air properties for whatever reason, so they've removed that. And modern Rashid's Nail Assault comes out a lot more consistently now, when before it would kind of overlap with other specials and cause issues. Aki received a bug fix where the OD Serpent Lash wasn't working correctly. It wasn't given the correct amount of positive frames when the opponent was in Toxic Blossom, and it hit as a punish counter, so this has been fixed. Ed was yet another character that didn't really get anything during the last patch. I mean, he was still pretty new when that came out, so they went ahead and did some stuff here. Stand Heavy Kick is now +4 on block, up from +3, and Jumping Heavy Punch now has an extra active frame. Jump Heavy Kick allows you to float the opponent easier and get easier confirms more consistently. His Light Psycho Blitz now has more pushback in the corner, and there was a nerf to his Super Art 2. At extremely high level, these Ed desync combos were getting an insane amount of mileage for the character and were obviously unintended by the developer. To combat this, Capcom have given Ed only 80% of his Super Art gauge gain while a Super Art 2 combo is in effect. Yes, these combos are difficult, but he shouldn't be getting as much reward as he is getting currently from that. Akuma had a bug fix where apparently he could throw a regular Hadouken when an OD one was already on the screen, so that's been removed. And Bison has been toned down in a couple of ways, including his drive reversal now having a lot less range. And his double knee press is now going to have less pushback, so it's going to be a lot riskier to throw these out there unless you're spacing them correctly. So if your opponent's ready to punish Bison players, you might be in trouble. He also has a ton of bug fixes all related to the Psycho Mines. So basically there was a bunch of bugs where you could get like double bombs, you could like detonate one on certain hits but not others, you could make it trade in weird ways and like it wouldn't detonate under certain conditions, but it looks like Capcom has fixed all of that, so yeah, this should work normally now. And there was some bugs related to the timer with his Super Art 1 and 2, and also the drive gauge recovery on Super Art 2 was acting a bit funky, so looks like they fixed that up. And yeah, man, like Bison is still brand new, but it looks like they took care of his bugs pretty quick. Okay, there you go, guys. There are all the main changes for the Terry update for Street Fighter 6. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, which characters you're going to be trying out. I still can't believe they buffed JP and Luke, bro. Like, this is crazy to me. And Zangief getting a little slap on the wrist there. They don't want grapplers to be top tier. Thank goodness. But yeah, if you did enjoy the content, guys, if you learned something today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Tyrant out of here. Take care, and I'll see you next time.